Welcome back to the Shop Mini RC, everybody. I'm Ken, and today we are looking at the RC8X from Radiolink and their little FPV setup that they've got. This is a little add-on you can add to your remote and get the FPV screen up on your screen here. And before we dive too deep into this guy, be sure to like, subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell, guys. It's just a click for you, but it means the world to me, especially if you like our content and what we've been doing. It doesn't hurt to hit that subscribe button. Then you know when new stuff is coming, and you don't want to miss out on that. We have tons of stuff coming, so that subscribe button is the best way to do it. And the like button helps us in the algorithms, and the share, well, helps your friends. So do all those things, and yeah, let's go ahead and dive into this guy. This thing is cool. You can use pretty much any FPV transmitter camera. So not just this, but there are other cameras out there as well. But this is the one that Radiolink sells. You can pick it up on their Amazon or AliExpress. We'll put links down in the description below. But basically this little camera here will transmit a signal to either an FPV headset or any other type of receiver device that can pick up basically the same type of signals that these put out. And these are adjustable as well. You can adjust the frequency that it's on. It is on a 5.8G FPV camera transmitter. That's what this is. And this is the receiver. Now this guy right here is also sold for the Radiolink stuff. And we'll put a link down in the description below to this as well. I'm not sure if you can get this as a combo or not. But there's a couple different receivers as well. There's an older version. And like I said, there's just about any kind of FPV transmitter camera. So it is running on the 5.8G. I'm not sure what OTG stands for, but this is the receiver here. It's got two buttons and your antenna. We've just double-sided sticky taped it to our remote for now. It's USB Type-C, and it's going to plug right here into the side. We'll go ahead and get this all set up real quick. Actually, before we do that, we're going to set up our remote. So let's go ahead and go in here. I'll show you how. You go to External Input Output. And the first thing you're going to do is make sure that your protocol output mode is PPM in. Okay. Then you can go ahead and change your multimedia mode to video input. And we actually changed, so this pop-up window you can change to open or close, and that means it'll pop up every time you plug something in. So I'll go ahead and show you real quick. We'll plug in the USB-C right now and the headphone jack, which is part of the signal transmitter. It's not actually for audio. And you'll see here, let me get back to our main screen. Now we've got our signal screen for our camera. Our camera's not on, so it's not going to show. But if you were to change, just so you know, if you were to change this pop-up window to open, then anytime you turn on or off or plug in this, it'll give you a little pop-up for whether you want video or audio output or input. Okay, and we're always going to be on video input for this because remember, this remote can also output audio. So you've got your sounds, your beeps, all that kind of stuff coming through headphones if you want to, hear them, but you don't want other people to hear them, or if you're hearing impaired, things of that nature, you're able to output all your sounds to headphones, which is pretty cool. All right, so this guy here, it is pretty tiny and pretty cool. It's a 720p, so it's not HD, but this one's 720p. I'm not sure what the resolution on this guy is as far as the video and the receiver is concerned. But again, it's on 5.8G. That's the frequency. It's got 48 channels. It runs on basically 1S, anywhere between 3 and 5 volts. So you can run a 1S battery on it. I'm looking at maybe trying to get a BEC. This BEC outputs like 5.6 volts, I think. I'd have to test it again, but you can basically run a 2S into a BEC, and the BEC will downvolt it. So ideally, you'll probably be running with a 5 volt BEC. If you can get one, then you can actually just run the camera directly off of your LiPo that's in your truck versus having a separate LiPo or airplane or whatever you're running your FPV camera on. You'll be able to run it off the same battery that your vehicle is if you want, but you'll have to use a BEC, especially if you have, again, higher than 5 volts coming out of your battery, which pretty much every truck is going to be at least 2S or greater. So for now, we're just going to use this 1S battery. We may try this BEC later. I don't know if 5.6 volts will fry this. It does say 3 to 5, so that may be a risk we take, but we'll see. This guy's pretty light. Let's see here. On the website, I believe it says 0.15 ounces, which 4 grams basically. Yeah, pretty light. So that's good. Small, compact. The antenna is kind of big and bulky in a way. And it's weird that the power is coming out the front, but not a big deal. You can just tuck it around and get it going where you need it to go. Also, it's a 120-degree wide angle, so it's going to have a pretty wide angle lens, which is good. Makes it easier to see things. It does say it's smart audio supported, so I don't know what that means because I don't think there's a microphone on this guy. I don't see any microphone on here unless it's a super tiny microphone, but I don't see one. But it does say smart audio supported as well as external OSD chip supported. Again, we're new to FPV. We don't know what that all means, but maybe you do. If you do, put down in the comments below. There's also a little tiny button here on the side, and that's going to give you your different settings and the way to change your frequency and channels. It's got A, B, C, D, E, and F channels. What else? I think it's got 8 different frequencies it can set on with those 7 lettered channels. So all through this little button, you're able to do long presses and short presses and things like that to get to different settings. And a little light will flash. You have frequency selection, you have a channel selection, and then you also have a power selection. And the power selection is able to give you it's the output of the camera. Now, we already ran this guy just for a second, and it does seem to get pretty warm on whatever setting it's currently on. I'm not sure, but I'm sure if you upped the power output, it's going to get even hotter. So just something to keep an eye on. Make sure it doesn't overheat, get too crazy, especially if you're running it straight up at 5 volts. A 1S is only 3.7 volts at its normal voltage, but they go up to 4.2 when they're fully charged. So keep that stuff in mind. Let's go ahead and show you this thing. I'm doing a lot of talking here, but yeah, we should go ahead and show you. We've got our little plug here. We've got it converted over to a red JST plug, just because that's pretty much what all of our batteries are on, at least our small guys. So we'll go back to our main screen, get this guy plugged in here. Bam. And looky there, straight up connected. Pretty cool. All right, so there are some things you can do if you don't get a screen immediately. You can see up in the corner here the channel and frequency we're on. Now, you're able to push these 2 buttons to basically have it search frequencies. The first thing is going to be here on the left button. You can click it to switch between your channel groups A through R, and then you can short press the right button to switch through channels 1 through 8. Or you can just long press this left button and it'll automatically search for corresponding channel that the transmitter is putting off. So if I just hold this, 1, 2, you'll see it's going to search and it's just going to look for any signal. So if you have a different camera or anything like that, it'll search for that signal and it should pick it up and throw it right into our receiver once it finds it. There we go. Boom. Okay. Pretty freaking sweet, guys. This is so neat. Let's see, is it getting warm? Yeah, see, it's already pretty warm. It's interesting that these cameras get really hot. This chip right here, he's a warm one. So just be aware of that when you're mounting it and whatnot, that it can get that way. All right, so it's as simple as that, guys. If you do have an FPV headset from something, look at this, boom. We already searched up the channel, but you can see right there. Our little FPV headset with those little FPV cars that we picked up. And yeah. This will receive that signal as well. You just got to use your little channel search and it'll search just like this just did and it'll find it. So pretty sweet. So kind of fun. You can have like a friend wear this and you can drive with this or have it go into a DVR of sorts. You can actually, speaking of that, this guy comes with some extra cables. Bam. And these will plug into an Android. Unfortunately not an iPhone, but if you have an Android, you can download an app and you can run this on your Android and basically record from your phone, your Android phone, and receive this signal to the Android, which is pretty sweet. So that's a really cool thing about this receiver. It's kind of a universal thing, but this plug is made specifically for the RC8X. Now, the next thing we got to do is just figure out what we're going to put it in. I was thinking about putting it in this little guy here. This camera is small enough to just kind of fit right in the window if we wanted it to. Could literally just tuck it in there. Boom. And there we go. We can go drive our truck around. Right? How fun will that be? And you can see the angle. It's a very wide angle. We'll get some footage here. I don't have any way to actually record it, so I'll probably just mount my camera in a way that is sitting on top of this, and you're just able to see this screen here. I'll just be recording essentially what's on here. There's no way to record on the remote itself. You do have an SD, micro SD in the front, but that's for all your settings. So unfortunately, you can't record. That would be a very cool update, though, if they let you pop out your SD card and record straight to an SD card. That would be awesome. I just want to double check something. Yeah, there's no way to record. You do have video settings in here, though, so you can change your luminance, you can change your contrast, all that kind of stuff, just so you get your ideal little view. Saturation and hue, totally change the colors. So that's cool. What else? What else? I don't know. I kind of just want to go drive this guy now. Yeah, I'm not sure what all these settings are. Oh, you can turn it on and off with a switch. So you can assign a switch for the protocol, and you can switch between protocols with, one of your buttons here. Any of your buttons, really. So that's cool. Yeah, anyway, let's just go drive this guy a little bit. Boom. You can also put it in a big one. Maybe we'll put it in a big one of the big crawlers. But it's just nice that it's so small. Again, the only downside is finding a place to put an additional battery. So we're going to have to get another battery in here or get a BEC, like I said, where you can downvolt it. You do your battery in. Basically, you can plug it into your balance cable, and then it'll downvolt it to the voltage you need, and then plug your camera straight into the BEC. That's how that would work. Anyway, all right, let's go drive around. All right, we're all set up. Got the camera in there like that. Got our battery just shoved in our interior for now. There's not a lot of room inside this guy. It's already pretty tight. So, yeah, I guess we'll try. Let's get back in here. Where'd it go? There we go. Boom, look at that. And it's going to be cool. Just barely see the hood of the truck. Got pretty wide angle. I don't know if you can see. Boom. You can see my hands in the shot right about here. So that's pretty good angle. Pretty good visibility. Let's go drive it. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that little drive there. This thing is so fun. You can see how we changed the mounting. We put it up top. It's better to kind of be able to see down. So you kind of want to get it as high as possible if you want to be able to see the ground in front of you. We probably could have raised it just a little bit, tilted it back just a little, but I wanted to see the tires as much as I could, kind of so I could see placement on the rocks. But again, on a larger rig, you definitely want to have it tall. You want to have it as high as possible. I mean, on any rig, small rig, large rig, doesn't matter. Car, whatever. You want to see the road in front of you. So definitely mount them high. So we did have a little bit of flickering. I don't know if you noticed that in the video. I think that has a lot to do with the area I'm in. I'm in a highly populated area. So, I mean, we have which is weird because we have horrible cell service. Our Wi-Fi is really bad. I have to have 3 different mesh things, the mesh hubs, just to try to get Wi-Fi throughout the house because the Wi-Fi is horrible. It's like any sort of radio signal, even our radio stations, they're kind of staticky sometimes. So I think that we have a lot of interference in this area, and that's part of why we had so much flickering going on. I've seen other video from these, and they're not quite as flickery. So depending on where you're at and whatnot, also you can do more channel searching and try to find the optimal channel. But that is what it is. I'm sure if we were out crawling out in the middle of nowhere, or up at Red Rocks or something like that, it would be a much clearer, less flickery signal. But it was awesome. It was super fun. The goggles are fun if you've got a set of goggles. It is cool to see it on the remote. I just wish there was a way to record or do something more with the FPV on the remote. It's kind of a cool added bonus. Like if you're going to run FPV anyway, and maybe you don't want to wear the goggles, having it be able to pop up on your transmitter, just have it on screen is kind of like another point of reference, or just for fun. It's a very novelty thing. Either way, love it. We got these from ATA Hobby, so I'll put a link down in the description below. It's on Amazon. ATA Hobby is the store that sells this and the receiver. And yeah, so I'll put a link down there if you're interested. Again, you can use this even not on the RC8X, which is pretty cool if you have an Android or some other device to plug this into that can run the Android software. But yeah, digging it. And again, the camera works with any receiver pretty much. So I hope you enjoyed it all, guys. If you got any questions, put them down below. Why don't you put driving in my mini truck down in the comments below. Let me know you watched the whole video. Driving in my mini truck. Oh, lost our battery. Anyway, guys, get out there, do something awesome. Smash them, crash them, and bash them. Build a car, build a course, build a community. And yeah, hope to see you next time. Peace.